if you'd want to speak. So we welcome all things JVM, and thank you for your time for being here this evening. Let's tee up Leo. I think we've got 2 speakers tonight, right? Should we just run through the agenda real quick and
sure.
Tee up Leo?
Sure. We have 2 great speakers. We have two great speakers. Let me bring up the agenda. So we're going to start off with Leo doing a talk on leveraging tools from the Scala community to learn and teach Scala. And then following that, Nathan Fisher is going to talk about mini JSON type classes that know that none is not null. None is not null. So let's start with Leo. Leo has been a guest of SF Scala before. Leo grew up in France and has been living in San Francisco for the last 10 years. He's passionate about functional programming and teaches Scala at Demandbase. He enjoys designing and architecting libraries, software products. Simply, Leo loves exploring where nobody has been before and working with teams that want to create the possible out of the improbable. His draw to exploration and adventure also carries over to life outside of work. When he's not working, Leo enjoys video games, movies, TV shows, board games, traveling, eating, cooking, and good food. Over to you, Leo.
Hello, everyone. So let me share my screen. Oh, it's disabled.
Is it? Is it? I should trust you guys more, right?
Yeah. I can now. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna go over those slides since we already done that. So that's my name, Leo Benkel. I work at Demandbase today as a data engineer. I'm passionate about Scala, functional programming, and data. And you can find me on LinkedIn, GitHub, Patreon under the same alias, Leo Benkel. I've talked before about 2 open source libraries that I built. The first one is called ZPark.io, which is a hybrid of ZIO and Spark, and help you kind of like lift up your project into leveraging the ZIO power and on top of Spark. The second one, called Soteria, is a SBT plugin to guarantee to like speed up your security audit for your company, guarantee like good practices across all your projects. Take a look and feel free to ask me questions if you want to. And there's recording from the Scala SF where I talked about this before. So today, I don't want to dive into technical things. I want to, the audience will be people that are interested in Scala and don't know where to start. There's a lot of books, there's a lot of resources, and sometimes you get lost, and if you finish one, you don't know what to do next. And so I really want to present all those tools and that I found. And if you know of others, I'd love to hear. I'm not going to teach you Scala right now, but I'm going to introduce you to a series of tools that you can use to do so. My goal is to empower people from all origin and backgrounds to become the best Scala developers they want to be. I'm only here to provide guidance and build a community that thrives on helping each other. I choose tools that were free and open source so that everyone can grow at their own pace with the least constraint as possible. I really want that everyone that just wants to learn Scala can do it. So that's the agenda. I'm going to humbly present some incredible tools that the computer scientists and Scala engineering and software engineering communities have put together, as well as some guidance to kind of like connect them together. And I'm going to also introduce some of those tools that I built myself, and using all the modern technology to kind of like tie everything together. So first of all, we're going to start with Exercism. So Exercism is an amazing platform that is completely free and open source. And their motto is anyone from any background can become fluent in any programming languages for free, including Scala. That's why I included in this list. So I asked Jeremy Walker if it was okay to talk about it, and he was really happy. So let me read their about page, like the statement. So Exercism aims to provide opportunity for people of all backgrounds by helping them develop their programming skill through practice and mentorship. Exercism provides thousands of exercises spread across over 50 languages tracks and offer both automated and human mentoring. The current platform is targeted at people with some programming experience who want to deepen their knowledge or learn new languages. In time, they will also offer support for total beginners. Exercism is 100% free, it is entirely open source, and relies on the contribution of thousands of volunteers. The platform is designed to be fun and friendly, and they place a strong emphasis on empathetic communication. So when you're on Exercism, you can complete exercise as kind of like a student, and you can, for instance, be a student in Scala at the same time as mentoring a Java track if you're an expert there. So it's really kind of like this cross-contamination of knowledge, which is incredible. So when you are a student, you can have this broad selection of challenges from easy to hard. And you go into it, you clone them locally, and you implement the solution on your own environment and then submit the solution. When you submit the solution, as a mentor, you can go and see people's solution and give them advice on how to improve their code quality, give them tips and how to improve over time. I created a team, which is one of the features, to be able to have like a close community where everybody can help each other without having to be like in this public kind of like space. And so on this platform, we now have like dozens of people, and I help everybody to kind of like improve the code, like use more functional programming patterns. And you can join the team. It's all free, you know, and you can just start crunching challenges and exercise and ask for help. So it's a really good like way to learn Scala while writing Scala. The next step I want to talk about is Scala Exercise. I talked with Maureen Ellsbury, who is the director of marketing at 47 Degrees, and she was very happy for me to talk about this platform. Those are like the 6 top contributors. And so it's all open source, and it's supported by the 47 Degrees company. I'll read the statement. 47 Degrees helps you take the next step in modernizing your legacy application to be real-time, secure, and responsive by using battle-tested functional programming and cutting-edge technologies. And obviously, they also help to grow the Scala community, because as you can see, there's like a dozen open source projects. And going back to Scala Exercises, you have all those kind of like category, which are like all the main libraries and also the standard library for Scala. And what's amazing about it is that when you dive into any of those, you will see example and illustration on how to use this library, and you can feel kind of like this exercise in the browser. So you don't even have to spin up anything. You can do it, you know, on your phone. You can do it while you're traveling. You can do it on the Chromebook. And it's really cool, because then you acquire this kind of like intuition. And so when I saw all those tools, I was like, oh, that's amazing. I want to participate. And so I'm introducing SKB, which stands for Scala Knowledge Bits. And it's a series that I built. So 3 times a week, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, a new article coming. And it's supposed to be kind of like a 2-minute little snippet of knowledge. And it's in 3 parts. So the first part is a little introduction, which will tell you what you're about to be confronted with. And that relies on all the previous knowledge from the previous SKB episodes. So it's kind of like this progression. And you can do it very quickly. It's supposed to be done in like 2 minutes. Then you have an exercise built in the browser. I'm using Scasti, which is embedded within the page. So you go and you kind of solve the challenge on yourself. There is no instructions. And the goal is to replace the little question mark placeholder, so the code compile and pass the test. And you can modify the code to do anything. It's basically like your kind of like sandbox. And then when you succeed, or if you want to just like skip ahead, there is a more detailed explanation on what you've just learned and kind of like formalize it. So now you have both sides of the thing. You have the intuition, then you get the formalized knowledge, and you can go back and modify the code based on, you know, what you just read. So as of today, there's like more than 20 articles available on like every topics, and I'm publishing one every 3 times a week. There were ones this morning, and there is going to be one on Friday and more next week. If you don't like my website, which I understand is like a WordPress, you know, it can be slow to load. I also copy every articles one at a time on Medium. It's really tedious, but at least people have the choice. And I'm gonna present a surprise at the end. So you've seen like the little like agenda, but I'm gonna talk about this new platform I designed at the end. And so now you're like, well, okay, I have all those bits and pieces, but you didn't connect them at all. What do I do? So first of all, I'm gonna introduce you to this other platform called Kintel, and that's to be able to unlock people. So this platform is not free, it's not open source, but you'll see how I'm using it makes it available for everyone. I talked with Jem Bezadi, who is the co-founder, and their platform is really cool. So basically, it allows people with knowledge to connect with people that seek knowledge. So as an advisor, you can teach anything you want. Like, you can see the examples here. You can just create your profile and create your card, and you can get people book you for 30 minutes, an hour. And it's a really cool UI. You have like embedded videos and chats and everything. It's all built in. So it's not a open source platform. So why do I introduce it? Well, I introduced it because you can set your own price. So my time is free. You can just come in if you want to be unblocked, if you blocked in any of the resources, if you want some tips and advice, you can just like book 30 minutes. It's connected to my calendar, and you can just get unblocked that way. I've already talked with a few people. It was super fun. Like they had problem at work, how to solve this problem. Some people had problem with like Exercism, how to spin it up. It's great. And then we all grow, and we can report those answers and questions back to the community. So what community am I talking about? So I've recently started a Discord server, which kind of connect all the pieces of the puzzle. And Discord is really cool for that because you can have like all the channels and everything. So let me go through it. I started the server on like the 18th of August, and within a few days we got like a huge amount of people. At the time I wrote this slide, it was like 70 members. Now we are more than 100. And I shared it on LinkedIn, being like, if anybody wants to join just so we can try out. The LinkedIn post got more than 6,000 views, and I was receiving like notification 10 times a day. So there's clearly a demand for like a platform where we want this kind of like comforting, inclusive communities to learn and grow the Scala community. And I think Scala is a great language. I think we need more kind of like a connecting way to bring people up. And I believe that functional programming is the future. Like object-oriented was the step after sequential, and now we go the step after. So on the Discord server, you have this kind of like introduction which guides you through all the channels, and you have a channel per one of the resources I talked about earlier. So you can start with SKBs to slowly start. Then when you're like, okay, I'm ready to write code for myself, so you can dive into the Exercism. And then when you get comfortable with that, you can then start and go to the Scala Exercise, which is more like functional programming in the library, in the ecosystem. And so you have like this progression from knowing nothing about Scala up to you can write functional programming using CATS and Scala Z and ZIO. If you want to join, I'm gonna pause so you can write down the link. I'm expecting some buzz of like people joining. Okay. You just have to write the last letters. It's like Q, uppercase W, 5P, WX. So you might think it's over, but then someone in this community was amazing and suggested me, we have like all the tour of Go, tour of Rust, but this person haven't found a good tour of Scala, and so that the SKB series would have been a good fit. So I had a few days to spare, it's quarantine, we can't go out. So I am introducing the tour of Scala. I redesigned the logo to be on a modern setup. We don't have bikes anymore. We all have electric scooters nowadays. And so here's the tour of Scala. That's the first time I'm introducing it to the world. It's like grand opening today. Nobody have seen it, a few people, but not many. And so basically you have this platform where you have everything there. You can click on each of the exercise, and then you go on the exercise, and you have on the left, you have the same content as the SKB series, but in the setup, which is like completely mobile, responsive. That's the screenshot of my phone. Like you can literally do it in the train and on commute. And I can try to give a live demo. We'll see how that goes. So there you go, that's the website live. You can start there, Scala values, and you load the exercise, which load the SCAST embedded platform. So here you will see, okay, how do I make that work? So it's like, okay, maybe 6. And then you go. Congratulations, you are amazing. And if you want more information about what you've just done, you click here and you get the detail, and then you can move on to the next one. and it's super smooth. Everything is like loaded in your local cache, and I don't know, I'm pretty proud of it. Yeah, if anyone has any question, let me know. And I think, let's go back to the slide. Oh yeah, it's open source. If you don't like the design, help me make it better. I'm not a designer. And if anybody has any question, that's the time. Thank you, everyone.
Great, thank you, Leo. That was great. I've got one question for you. Well, did you get any inspiration from other tours of other languages for tour of Scala?
Yeah, so the design is pretty much the same as everybody else, right? You have the code on the right, the explanation on the left, and the navigation at the bottom. I try to reproduce the same thing, so people are not in unknown territories.
That's cool. No, that's great. That's awesome. I'll definitely just spread the word to everyone. Any questions on the? Let me read some comments from Twitch now. I've got someone saying thanks, Leo. Very cool. Another one, very helpful resource. Thank you. Thank you. I'm fairly new to Scala, so this was very helpful. Someone's kindly shared the Discord URL.
I think the URL is not correct, so let me roll back to where's it? There you go.
Yeah, I'll reshare it, and I'll reshare it as well. Yep, someone just posted it. Awesome. Anyone on Zoom would like to ask Leo any questions?
Oh,
no?
That means I was really clear. That's amazing. I did a good
job. Absolutely, absolutely. Great. Well, in that case, Nathan, are you ready with your talk, or do you want 5 minutes to get ready?
Give me a couple minutes. Should we chat around until 7? In case anyone was relying on the calendar, or we just jump right into it?
Very good point. Let me see what I put on me because I actually did the calendar just before the song. Yeah, I did put 7 o'clock. Normally you don't get that many people show up as that late in a meetup. So why don't we compromise? Shall we chat until 6:45 and then get started? And I'm going to record the event and put it on YouTube anyway. So if anyone misses the beginning, they can rewind.
Yeah. Usually all the good food is gone by the second talk.
Yeah. Yeah, I prefer that because I still only have 1% battery. But it's lasted all the way through Leo's talk. So.
Well, your one battery is really really strong.
I mean, it's been 1% the whole time, but it's one of those good 1%, I guess.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna actually stop the recording then. This way we can have a separate video for Leo and separate for Nathan, and this way we can upload them as 2 separate videos.